Hello. Would you like to know the fastest, easiest way to double your business income? Well, the area I'm going to cover today is a simple 8-step system to optimize your business for maximum growth in minimum time. And by the time you finish watching this short tutorial, you're going to have some real tangible strategies you're going to be able to utilize yourself to be able to improve your business. Now, what this is based on and the things I'm going to share with you is not just some theory. This is real world experience based on over $700,000 of research observing thousands of business owners. Why listen to us? Well, my name's Ian Marsh. I've built 5 multi-million-dollar companies to date, generated well over $70 million in those companies, built one of the largest coaching consulting organizations in the Southern Hemisphere, and have literally hundreds of success stories from clients that are now living better business lives simply because I guess I've been in it. We're an international business consultancy specializing in improving bottom line profits, improving the efficiencies in businesses, and creating saleable businesses so that your business over time runs under management and you actually get to enjoy the company that you build. Now, we've helped all sorts of companies from the largest to the smallest. And it doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're a consultant, you're a tradesman. These principles that I'm about to share with you apply equally. And how do we know that? Well, because we have helped every type of industry that you can imagine under the sun. And the way I'm going to share these principles with you today is by telling you a story that hopefully most of you can relate to. Okay, and the story will be about Tom. See, Tom was this gentleman that over time developed skills, and we'll say that Tom was a builder. Okay, he'd been working for a guy for a long time, and he thought he knew all of the money that the owner was making and how he was having a great life. And he thought, you know what? Why don't I do that myself? Why don't I start my own business? Because I'll start making more money, have more time and more freedom, and that'd be really, really cool. And so Tom set off and he started his own business and he started making some good money, but he started getting more and more successful. And as he's getting more successful, he also met that perfect person, that perfect spouse, and they had children, which meant Tom had to make more money. And so he had to work longer hours and he saw his family less and less. And as for his own personal time and the returns he was getting on that time, they weren't that flash. And his own hobbies sort of went out the windows because he had to keep the wheels turning in the business. So after 5 years, Tom says, man, I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough time to spend with my family, and I'm constantly putting out fires. Why is this? And he started doing some research, and he found that the average self-employed person is working nearly 60 hours a week. And in addition to that, a bit more research, he discovered that only 39% of businesses in Australia were actually making a profit. This is not too flashy, he's thinking. 2% of businesses reach $2 million turnover, and in addition to that, after all the years they spend in their companies, only 10% of them actually get sold. Well, Tom wisely decided he did not want to be a statistic, and so he started looking for someone to help them, and he found me. Yes, I know I'm good looking. He asked me for help, and I said, okay. And as I do with all clients, said, okay, well, what do we want to achieve here? What is it that we really want to have as an outcome when we work together? And so Tom says, I want to double my profits from 150K to 300K. I said, okay, well, let me ask you a couple of questions first so I can start to map out where we are. How many leads are you going to generate this month, Tom? And Tom said, oh, I'm not sure. Well, what do you think your turnover is going to be this month? He says, I guess it might be if I'm lucky. You know, in all honesty, I don't know that either. Do you know what your profit's going to be? No. What about your exact sales conversion rates on all of your jobs? No. Well, tell me, Tom, why are you running this business and what do you want to get out of this business? He says, well, I just want to enjoy business and have more money and have more freedom. I said, oh, okay. Now, Tom was looking a bit sheepish as well as I was asking these questions, and I told him, look, don't get too concerned because only 1 out of 10 businesses have any idea of those numbers. That's why I'm talking to you, and that's why I'm going to help you. So you're going to be in for an experience, Tom. And so what I did is I said, what we're going to do is look at some key areas in your business. These are responsible for the massive growth in any business. We're going to start off looking at your lead generation. Okay, so based on you wanting to generate 300,000 in profit, and I'm pleased you're talking about profit. It's not all about turnover, it's actually about profit. We want to see if you've got the lead generation systems in place or if we need to develop more. Then we need to look at your sales systems and see if before we get more leads, do you actually need to fix your sales systems? Because a lot of companies have very poor sales procedures and systems, or in fact, I'm being generous, none at all. Then we're going to be looking at your average dollar sale and seeing what we can do there to improve that. We'll also see if we can improve the frequency of the sales so that if we can get more transactions from your clients each year. And we'll be looking at your profit, okay, see the net profit that you're making and improve the efficiencies in your business so that you can make higher percentage profits. And we're going to look at developing a referral system and seeing what your referral system is, and then making sure, because the best leads you can possibly get in any business are from referrals. And the other growth strategy is looking at the lifetime of a client, seeing how long we can keep a client in your environment for. And the 8th step is after we're doing all of these, every time we get some system that's working really well, we're going to track it, systemize it, and create a process so that we develop a quality management system for your company so that your business eventually can run largely without you and just have a management team under there. So you ready for this, Tom? So Tom, what I'm about to show you here, what you're looking at is what we refer to as our business growth calculator. And you can see down the left-hand side, there are all of the key profit drivers that I was just talking to you about. The number of new leads, conversion ratio, number of transactions per year, average transaction value, your profit margin, and referrals, and the lifetime value of a client. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to get some numbers off you here, Tom. After looking at your books, okay, it looks like you get about 300 leads a year, okay, looking at the records that you do have. And Tom, the conversion rate, after looking at 40 of your quotes, looks like it's sitting at around 20%, and that's just about normal for your type of industry. Now, the transactions per year, well, you get one renovation because you do renovations. And the average transaction value based on those 40 quotes is $25,000. And the profit margin is 10%. Okay, and your referrals, you don't get a lot of referrals because you don't have a structured referral system. And in fact, I won't even go into that with you at the moment, Tom. Okay, I'm just going to stay with these core fundamentals that we're looking at here. So looking at a few ideas, Tom, just off the top of my head, let's just have a look at just a couple of the profit drivers that we can start working on to get you from 150K in profit to 300. So, to improve the leads, now we had a look at your online situation and it was pretty sad actually. You weren't showing up anywhere on page 1. You didn't have a social media presence at all to show all of the great renovations that you do and the before and afters and all those things. And you don't have any direct mail or point of sale material at all. So Tom, what do you reckon if we just help get you onto page 1 of Google, improved your online presence and made a basic social media presence for you? Do you feel that might have an improvement on your results for your leads? Because you're only getting 0.8 leads per day. What do you reckon? Yeah? Great. And what about with your sales system? So we're having a look there, and so you've got a very I guess, standard sales system, the same as everyone else in your industry. So you don't really have a structured follow-up system. You don't have any real powerful guarantees, and you told me that you haven't done any sales training, so you've just worked naturally because you're a nice guy and people buy from you. Would that be right? So do you think if we implemented some strong guarantees and an automated follow-up system and we gave your team some sales training, do you think that that might help your sales conversions a bit? Okay. Now, what about your average dollar sale? So right now, you're sitting at $25,000. Do you think if we developed a simple checklist and we maybe offered landscaping and perhaps put air conditioning in there, insulation in there, alarm systems, security systems? I mean, everybody's getting into security these days. Do you think that could increase your average dollar sale of each renovation that you do? You think it would? Yeah? Okay. And the last one we'll just look at here, Tom, because I just don't want to give you too much information. I want to get some things done with you. So let's just look at how you can increase your profits. So perhaps we can look at you raising your prices, because looking at your competitors, my gut tells me there's a chance you could do something there. And when was the last time you got some better deals from your suppliers? Went back to them and said, look, I really need some help here. Can you shave a couple of % off what you're giving to me? And when was the last time you did a line-by-line review of all your costs, like your insurances, and looked at all of your overheads and went through your credit cards and your subscriptions? Do you think if we did that we might be able to save a few dollars? Okay, well, let's see what the impact of just putting those few ideas into our calculator will be, Tom. So we mentioned here in our calculator that, okay, you're getting 300 leads, your conversion ratio is 20%, you only get one sale out of a client generally, and that's for about $25,000, and your profit margin at the moment is 10%. So if we did some direct mail strategies to targeted clients, and we improved your online presence, do you reckon you might improve your leads by perhaps at least 10%? So we're just talking another 30 leads a year. Do you reckon that might be possible? And what about, remember, if we actually taught you how to sell and we put in an automated sales system, we gave you some decent material and decent guarantees, do you think that might help your conversion ratio? Maybe improve it by perhaps 10%? Okay. And I won't even worry about the number of transactions per year yet, although we've got a few ideas, but the average transaction. So if we put that checklist in that I was talking to you about, and we offered them additional services such as air conditioning, landscaping, etc., etc., can you see how that would increase your average transaction value? I'll just put maybe 10% there as well with the landscaping and the air conditioning. Remember, an air conditioner system itself would be $15,000. And then finally, the profit margin. Okay, so if we even said, you know what, put your prices up 2.5%, and then find 2.5% by looking at all of the expenditure that you're doing and getting better deals from suppliers and going line by line through all your credit cards, etc. Do you reckon that's possible? So that'd be another 5% there. Well, I just want to show you the impact, Tom, of what we've achieved. Just by doing those few simple strategies and implementing them, we've taken your turnover from 1.5 million to 2.722.5 million, 2,722,500. And we've taken your profit from 150,000 to 408,375. Do you think that might be worth doing, Tom? So let's just summarize again what we did, Tom, to get these sorts of results. So we looked at your lead generation and we said, okay, well, let's just add some direct mail, some social media, improve the online presence, and that'll improve your leads by an extra 30 leads a year. Then we said, how about we do some sales training and teach you how to sell? We'll add some powerful guarantees to your products because we know that you're a great builder. And you'll actually follow up on those leads, have an automated, structured follow-up system. That'll give you at least another 10% improvement. With your average transaction value, we'll create a checklist so you can add additional services like landscaping, air conditioning, security services. And again, that's going to increase the average transaction value of each sale by at least 10%. And then with your profit margin, we'll look at just increasing your prices by 2.5%, talking to your suppliers and asking them if they can shave 1 or 2% off what they're doing, and review your expenses. Do you really need that BMW 5 Series sitting in your driveway? And just have a look at what outgoings there are, and are they justified? And when we look at all of those, the end result we achieved was pretty spectacular. We increased your turnover by $1,222,500, and we improved your profit by $258,375. So your total profit will come to $408,375. And ladies and gentlemen, what I've just taken you through is just a very small example of how easy it really is to improve the results in a business. So what I've just shared with you is not make-believe. It's simply a methodical way for us to optimize and increase a business's performance by approaching it in a very systematic way. And if you liked what I've shared here with you and you can see how this might be able to work in your business, well, we're happy to have a chat to you. And if you go to our website, streetsmartbusinessschool.com.au, or give us a call at the office, I'm happy to have a conversation, see if and how I may be able to help you start to achieve the same sorts of results that we've just helped Tom do.